Have you ever wondered why the US dollar is so powerful? It's not just America's currency, it's the world's currency. But how did a piece of paper from one country come to dominate the entire global economy? The story is full of bold decisions, gold, oil, and a bit of political drama. Let's rewind the clock and uncover the incredible journey of the US dollar. Our story begins just after the American Revolution. The newly formed United States needed its own money. So, in 1792, the Founding Fathers signed the Coinage Act. This wasn't just about printing paper. It was about creating a currency with real, tangible value. The act established the U.S. Mint and defined the dollar in terms of silver and gold. The first dollar coins were literally worth their weight in precious metal. You could hold a dollar and know you were holding a specific amount of silver. This bimetallic standard was revolutionary, giving the young nation a stable and trustworthy currency to build its future upon. Early mints were buzzing with activity, hammering out these shiny new symbols of American independence and economic sovereignty. This was the solid foundation upon which the dollar's future empire would be built. As America grew and industrialized in the 19th century, the global financial system was also evolving. The world was falling in love with gold. Britain, the dominant power at the time, was on a gold standard, and other major nations followed suit. The U.S. officially joined the party with the Gold Standard Act of 1900. This meant the value of the dollar was directly linked to a specific amount of gold. For every dollar in circulation, there was a corresponding amount of gold sitting in a government vault. You could, in theory, walk into a bank and exchange your paper dollars for real gold. This gave the dollar incredible stability and international credibility. It was as good as gold, literally. This era cemented the dollar's reputation as a safe and reliable store of value, a crucial step on its path to global dominance. Imagine massive vaults, stacked high with gleaming gold bars, all standing behind the value of the simple greenback. Fast forward to the end of World War II, much of the world was in ruins, but America emerged as an economic and military superpower. The world needed a new financial system to rebuild and foster international trade. So, in 1944, delegates from 44 allied nations gathered in a small town in New Hampshire called Bretton Woods. What they created would reshape the world economy for decades. Under the Bretton Woods Agreement, other major currencies, like the British pound and the French franc, were pegged to the US dollar at a fixed exchange rate, and the dollar. It remained pegged to gold at a rate of $35 per ounce. The US held most of the world's gold reserves at the time, making the dollar the only currency still directly convertible to gold. In effect, the US dollar became the world's anchor currency, the center of the financial universe. All international trade and finance now revolved around it. For nearly 3 decades, the Bretton Woods system worked. It provided stability and fueled a post-war economic boom. But by the late 1960s, the system was under strain. The U.S. was spending heavily on the Vietnam War and domestic programs, printing more dollars than it could back with its gold reserves. Other countries started getting nervous. They began cashing in their dollars for gold, and America's gold supply started to dwindle alarmingly. The promise was breaking. Then, on August 15, 1971, came the bombshell. President Richard Nixon appeared on television and announced that the U.S. would no longer convert dollars to gold at a fixed value. This event, known as the Nixon shock, effectively shattered the Bretton Woods system. The golden link was broken. The dollar was now a fiat currency, backed only by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, not by a physical commodity. Many predicted the dollar's reign was over, but they were wrong. Just as the dollar seemed to be losing its footing, a new foundation emerged from an unlikely source: oil. In the early 1970s, the world was hit by an oil crisis. OPEC, the cartel of oil-producing nations, dramatically increased prices. In a series of strategic agreements, the U.S. arranged for OPEC nations, particularly Saudi Arabia, to price their oil exclusively in U.S. dollars. In return, the U.S. offered military protection and investment opportunities. This was the birth of the petrodollar system. Now, any country that wanted to buy oil, which was pretty much every country, first had to buy U.S. dollars. This created a massive, constant, global demand for the dollar, completely independent of gold. It was a genius move that ensured the dollar's dominance would continue. Oil tankers crossing the oceans became the new symbols of the dollar's power, with a constant flow of greenbacks paying for the black gold that fueled the world. So where does that leave the dollar today? The world has changed a lot since the 1970s. We've seen the rise of new economic powers like China and the creation of competing currencies like the euro. The petrodollar system is still largely in place, but its foundations are being debated and challenged. Yet, despite all this, the US dollar remains the world's primary reserve currency. It dominates international trade, finance, and central bank reserves. From the bustling floors of Wall Street to the financial centers of London and Tokyo, the dollar is still king. Its journey from a silver coin to the bedrock of global finance is a testament to strategic vision, economic power, and the ability to adapt. The future may be uncertain, and the dollar's supremacy is no longer guaranteed, but its history shows it has a remarkable capacity for survival. From the Coinage Act of 1792 to the complex financial web of the 21st century, The story of the dollar is the story of modern global economics. It's a journey of precious metals, international agreements, and black gold. What do you think the future holds for the dollar? Will it continue its reign, or will a new currency rise to take its place? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to like and subscribe for more content.